Hello, 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 Larry here, and welcome back to our continuing Planet Crafter series. And boy, did I get a lot of stuff done since the previous episode. And look at this. This is kind of command center a la space rocket building center. And of course, gotta have some water. So we have our water here, and not one, but 2 launch facilities. So yes, I can send up multiple rockets at the same time, just because I can. And of course, we have food here. Now, if you notice, I have a toolbar on the screen. And that's because with all this repetitive building, I can now just go to the build screen, hold like the number 1 key, and then left click on the foundation. So when I decide to start building, all I have to do is hit the number 1 key and I could just boom, 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 boom. No more going to the crafting screen. So it makes life so much easier. And if you notice, there's nothing on the ground. I went ahead and no, I didn't install a mod for it, but I went ahead and picked up every little piece that's on the ground. And of course, I only kept iron and I destroyed everything else because I have enough miners now. So this shredder machine is a godsend. OMG, it is glorious. So let me show you some of the stuff I've done. This is our first solar facility that I built. And it took a little bit of my time, trying to build it right, kind of making it look a little pretty. So I think it works pretty cool. And then, of course, I have water. I have my little crafter out here for in case if I need anything. And, of course, I keep some food around, which is, it's nice. And here we have power. Right now I have 1,056 available, so that's pretty cool. Now, for all you people that haven't explored the map or are new to Planet Crafter, there are caves that you can find. And you'll hear us call them iridium caves or uranium caves or super alloy caves. And that's because that's where the materials are. Now, this cave right here, if you notice, it's glowing green. I've already scooped up all the uranium out of here. And when I get the tier 2 miner, I'll be able to plop those things in here and get uranium. But it also gives you the regular materials as well. So right here, I have my food, water, my crafter. But I also put a tier 2 crafter in here. And that's just so I can make uranium rods. So it makes life easier. And all the leftover stuff, the silicon, the magnesium and all that, all goes in the shredder. So the only thing that leaves this little area is just straight up uranium or uranium rods. So food for thought. You may want to consider doing something like that. Now, let's go over to the aluminum fields, which we call them. Now, at the very beginning of the game, you're going to notice super alloy. A lot of recipes as you progress through the tech take super alloy. Well, the great thing is once you have the miners, you can basically make super alloy all day long because it requires aluminum and everything else. So here I have the miners and I can get a boatload of aluminum. Now, I don't need to replace these things with tier 2 when they become available, but if I want to, I can, because aluminum is considered a low tier ore, so I don't have to use tier 2s on them. And of course, I have squash here, so I can regenerate my food. Keep that up, and then of course, I have water. But then the really cool thing is here I just have, just miscellaneous storage for this stuff. Same thing with the flowers. They're all over here. But go upstairs and I've got a double supply of everything. All the way from the aluminum, cobalt, iron, magnesium, silicon, titanium, which is the requirement for super alloy. So yeah, when I feel like getting a locker full of super alloy, then boom, I'll take everything from here, process it up, have super alloy. But then I have backup stuff for building. So I don't run out of stuff. It's building up your maps this way makes life so much easier. Now, we are finished with the lakes and we're into moss. So it's pretty cool. Now, you'd think this is my main base, but it's not. This area right here, I've designated for basically agriculture. So here we have room for methane, fertilizers. Then over here, your biologicals, plus your biological plastic, explosive powder, but then your base ingredients like algae, you're going to need a ton of it. Silicon, iridium, sulfur, base ingredients for other stuff. And then, of course, tree bark, got to have that. Got to have mushrooms, got to have squash, and, of course, water, and then eggplant. So we have all that, but let's go upstairs. Now, here we have our lab. So I can turn around and make everything that I need. See? Right there. Algae and water creates our bacteria sample. Mushroom silicon. I have all that stuff downstairs. So it's just a quick grab and I can make as much stuff as I want. And then of course, I have my screens here just to see what's going on. Now, to make my life easier, of course, we can see where we're at. Right now, we're at 90% on the moss. And then, you notice nothing's really ticking up very quickly. That's because, I don't have very much stuff built, and I haven't been launching rockets. But I put down 4 of the Bio 2s because you need tree bark, and you'll run out of tree bark real quick. So by having 4 of those, I have a good steady supply of bark. Now, let's go on over to this area right here. Of course, I have more water production. You can never have enough water. You're going to go through it like crazy. This is my algae area, and of course we can go down here and we had all sorts of little algae. Some people call it algae. I'm American. I call it algae. So, it is what it is. But over here, this is where we have our plants. And yes, I have my eggplants here. We have squash. We have our mushrooms. And then, of course, over here, more eggplant. You will go through tons of everything, especially eggplant. Eggplant and your algae. Oh, trust me. I could double my eggplant production and I still wouldn't have enough eggplant. The mushrooms, and depending on how much bioplastic you make, won't be too bad. Same thing with the squash. The squash is for the tier 2 fertilizer, but I have this squash and I have other squash being grown around the planet, so it's really no big deal. But let's go over here. I'll show you the other thing I've worked on. Now, power. Everybody thinks that, once I get the fusion generator, life is good. No, fusion generators are short-lived because you're going to need that zeolite for your tree spreaders. So you better make sure you have room for all the nuclear power that you're going to need. Because if you're not launching rockets and building tree spreaders, it's going to take you forever to get up to being able to get the fusion cell. Now over here, I have, of course, more food. And of course, for us, the bean is the best food by far. So you want to find the bean seeds and get them growing, position them around the map so you don't ever have to worry about food. Now up here, I have a set up for iridium rods. And of course, we have our iridium rods, and then of course my shredder. Now the one thing which is really cool is iridium is also considered a low tier ore. So you can use tier 1s to mine up your iridium. So you don't have to keep on launching those rockets and dodging meteors to get what you want. So that makes life good. Over here, I don't use as much sulfur, at least not yet. So I only have 2 over here, and of course, I have everything that I need for my sulfur. Of course, food and water, and my shredding machine. Now, we are getting an asteroid or meteor storm, so let's see if I can get out here. There is one huge advantage to clearing off all the nonsense off your map. You're going to notice, and I'll show it later in the video, maybe I can get some meteors to impact out here. Where are they coming from? Okay, they're right there. See, they're still targeting my old position. Now, if you don't want to get hit by a meteor, all I need to do is just stand in front of this. They can't hit me. But the game is going to do every possible way it can think of to target me. So I should not be able to get hit directly by a meteor. Now, the bane of the meteor strike is all these stupid rocks. All this debris that is floating around. You know, especially when you're trying to find your uranium and all that other fun stuff, it is a pain. Well, the cool thing is, since I've eliminated everything, I can see what's landing. Do I want any of this? No. So I'll do a quick scope out to see if there's any aluminum or anything really good. But we're going to play around for a few minutes. I'll keep showing you stuff. And when we come back, all that rock is going to be gone. For some reason, since I have cleared the map of all the nonsense material, the despawn rate for all that garbage rock is fast. It disappears real quick. So it makes gathering materials so much easier. Even though in this stage of the game, I really don't need to worry about it. It does make a huge difference, especially when we get up to the level of the super alloy storms. I won't have any nonsense in my way, and I'll be able to grab that stuff so fast. Now, this has to be part of a meteor strike because all this area was cleared. The only stuff that's still left on my map is stuff that are graphically broken to where you can't target them. See, so like this, okay, this is that little base. I guess no meteors really struck over here. But here is the second array of solar that I built. I like solar. I think they're cool. And when you have so much materials, you got to do something with it. Because until you can destroy it from the shredding machine, it's a headache storing everything. Now, this area is just, it was my little growing area. All of these have the gold seeds. They're just tier 2s. And you're going to find I barely have anything built. This is what I have for plants. And then I put up, 4 grass spreaders up by the other solar array. And then these are the heaters that I have up. And then I have these drills right here, and I have 4 more on the other side of the map. I barely have anything built, and look at the level that we're at. It's just crazy. And you'd think that, this is the Overlook series, that, oh, you had to progress really far on your base. No, this is it. Yeah. I want the Overlook base to be pretty. I don't plan on doing much production out here. I just want to be able to look out here and see my glorious lakes and all the planting that we're going to do over here. And that's the whole point of this. But I didn't want a ton of graphic interference as far as graphic lag and all that. So all my production stuff is way across on the other side of the map to where it should not affect the graphics. But soon as this water level raises all the way and we start planting, I think I'm going to severely put a load on my graphics card. But here is the basic concept of what I've been doing. And of course you can see, we have iron up the yin yang. It is crazy. I did take out the shredder machine because I was doing this in stages, and I also took out my water collector. But yeah, all of this area totally clear. Now I'm going to take you back to the launching facility, but we'll stop off and take a look to see if all those rocks despawned. We'll be right back. Okay, and we are back to where everything hit. And if you notice, and this has been literally just 3 or 4 minutes, and all of the nonsense rock is gone. It's vanished. That's how fast all this stuff despawns. Now, one trick to this, if I want all this stuff to disappear because I don't want it and I really don't want to collect any of it, all I have to do, and watch this. This is cool. Let's find a place for me to log out. So, as you can see, we still have all this material here laying on the ground. Watch this. I can make it all go poof without doing anything. All I have to do, hit escape, save, exit the main menu, load the game back in. And of course, there is a cheat here because you get your food and water back 100%. And if you're in a building, you get your oxygen level goes back up. But look, all that stuff that was sent by the meteors is now gone. So it makes my life that much easier to keep this thing clean. Am I going to put any plants over here? I might. I don't know. But my big goal is now that I do need uranium, I'm going to show you a little trick here. Okay, so here's the trick. Look at where I built. If you notice, of course, everything is gone. So that is good. Here, the lake is empty. So that makes life easier. Look how far off I have these mountains. So I don't have to worry about asteroids striking those. Let's go ahead and launch off our first rocket. And here we go. Fox 1. Bye-bye. And look what's going to be coming at us. Ooh, here comes the storm. Now let's see if it can hit me, because it's targeting me. It's gonna do its best to try to hit me. Oh, come on. Keep coming. You can do better than that. Uh-oh. That one looks like it's dead on. Oh, nope. Come on. I'm playing chicken with meteors. Come on. You can do it. I'm right here. Ooh. Come on. Nope. But the great thing is, those mountains are backstops. So it's just going to make my life so much easier collecting, because they're just going to... Oh, okay. That thing must have Russian guidance on it because it's way over there. Ah! There we go. That was cool. And now the storm's over. Now, all I have to do is just mess around just for a couple minutes, and all this stuff... See? The rocks are already disappearing. So here, I'm going to be able to run around and get my glorious uranium without any issue. So it despawns a whole lot faster than what it did on my previous map. So there is a plus for eliminating everything off your map. I wish I knew about this in my first series, because it would make gathering uranium and the iridium from the rockets so much easier. Now remember the big pile of rocks that we had over here? Well, let's see. Ooh, we just have tasty uranium now. So after launching a rocket, it's like, oh, maybe I should just go craft a couple things. Just mess around for a few minutes, and then voila. I have easy pickings. Nothing I have to dig around. None of that. Not too bad there. Now, didn't we have... I recall we had some over here. A big, massive pile. Let's see how much of it's left. We had a big, massive pile. Okay, there's a couple stones. Oh, and just a little clutch of uranium. Easy peasy lemon squeezy right there. That's the life I like. Just imagine how quick and easy it will be for the super alloy event. Oh, not having to worry about clicking on anything else. And since there's so little out here, I don't have to scurry around trying to find everything. I mean, having these things as a backstop, look at that. My inventory is already full. Can you believe that? Okay, so that was not a bad haul. I mean, you figure these 5 rods plus these 4, that's not too bad. Now let me show you another way that I do this, which will now make my life even easier. So, light that candle off. And now what I'm going to do is I'm still going to let the computer target me, but now I'm going to watch it happen, because I'll be able to see where all the asteroids strike. And it'll make my life so much easier trying to track them down, because I'll know the general area. And here they come. I didn't see where that one hit. Oh, they like targeting the ring. Okay. Ooh, that one hit the base. I'm going to have to change the contrast or something in this because there's a lot of bright shiny. It's hard to see everything. But, okay, so we got one over there. Maybe with more of the terraforming, this will darken up. Or I could adjust the contrast. It's no big deal. But those are some big rocks. And of course, some big rocks there. Now, my understanding with the new patch or update that's about ready to hit, we're going to actually be able to zoom with this. Oh, it hit over there. It's not being very good with me hiding in this building. Maybe it's looking for me. Let's... Okay, there's a rock. Okay, yeah. This is when we're really going to want all this stuff to disappear. And this is how I'm going to just rinse and repeat and send up probably, by the next episode, 20 rockets of each. Yeah, I really plan on the index to be rocking by our next episode. Because what I'm thinking is, let's go over to the command center here with the skill unlocks. And yeah, you've seen pretty much what I've built. I literally have nothing. So we have the terraformation is the biggest gap that we have. So we have pulsar crits, the pulsar quartz coming, which will give us the fusion power. Then of course our seed spreading rocket, and that will give us what? Oxygen, the oxygen multiplier. Then the DNA manipulator will give us, we can start for trees. Then the water filter, which is quality of life. The seed spreader tier 3, and then of course the fusion energy cell. But here we only have, for oxygen, is the tier 2. So if I put down some more growers, we can get that pretty quickly. Because that's 7.5 per million. We're still in the per billion. So yeah, gotta definitely put some plants down. And then to really supercharge our pressure, we're going to need these T4 drills. The fusion generator is nice, but since you need the zeolite for the crystals, I'm not a big fan of these things anymore. So, and supposedly, from what I saw in the update, yeah, you do get more zeolite, but unfortunately, it's still not enough. And it would be nice if you can grow it, put it into, if they get some type of farming apparatus where we could grow this zeolite, that would be nice. But hey, it is what it is. I love the game anyway, so it don't matter. It's not a game breaker. It would just be quality of life. And of course, the gas extractor, which we're going to need for growing trees and all that fun stuff. And then to make life easier, the tier 2 ore extractor, because with that we can go to that one cave that I showed you, which is the super alloy cave, where we could toss 2 or 3 of these excavators down, or extractors. So then we'd have unlimited amount of super alloy. I'd be able to break down that aluminum base. Then we have caves for uranium, which we could put the tier 2 on because it's more capacity. Same thing with the iridium, the sulfur, and the osmium. Because once you do that, then the only rockets you have to launch are for oxygen and biomass. And you're going to send up, and heads up, on your biomass rocket, use that Lerma flower. Tell you what, just launch all your Lermas into space, because that multiplier is far better than any machine that you can put the Lerma seed in. So just food for thought. You may want to consider it, but yeah. So that's pretty much for today's episode. I'm going to turn around and collect all this iridium, and hopefully you like the progress of the series. And if you do, please, by all means, hit the like button. Let other people know that it's a decent video worth watching. And of course, if you like, of course, you can always subscribe to the channel. Anyway, I'm Larry, and I hope you're having a great day, because I am. So I will talk to you in the next episode. Bye.